End Zone presented by TiVo continues alongside my buddy Ian Eagle. I'm Jason Horowitz. Glad to be with you here in New York on CBSSports.com and on your TiVo DVR via TiVo Cast. Randy Cross with us in Atlanta, and we move on to the, well, not the Icky Shuffle. Oh, that was kind of fun in Cincinnati for a while. The QB Shuffle. The Matt Leinart, Kurt Warner situation. And Randy, you were in a situation just like that in San Francisco with Young and Montana. Worked out okay for them. How will it play out here for the Cardinals?
Well, I think you have to go back really a couple weeks and look at what young Kellen Clemens did against the Baltimore Ravens defense in that fourth quarter. Really sliced them up. And Ken Whisenhunt had to look at that game and say, if Leinart struggles, I can bring Kurt Warner in, and Kurt Warner could do better than that. I mean, heck, the guy's an MVP. He gets the ball out of his hand. And I believe what they're doing for them right now, short term, is a great solution. It's a tough thing to prepare for. Long term, it's not a wonderful thing for Leinart to have to go through, but if he was playing better, he wouldn't have to worry about this.
Yeah, Randy, you just nailed it, though.
Yeah.
Long term, this cannot be the solution for the Arizona Cardinals. The bottom line is this will divide a football team.
Certainly.
And with Matt Leinart, his development will be affected. You can already see that it's affecting him. He's backed off some of his strong statements from earlier this week. We know that Kurt Warner can win at this level. Whether or not he can win consistently enough to lead Arizona to the playoffs, I don't have that answer. We don't know yet about Matt Leinart, and the question for Whisenhunt in year one, what does he want to do? Does he want to look short-term and maybe hurt Matt Leinart's development, or is he thinking more long-term and, hey, let Leinart go out, take his lumps?
But we also know that he's a tough-minded coach. We've known that since day one, coming from Pittsburgh, going to Arizona, the things he said. We talk with Pat Kerwin every week here on CBSSports.com, and he always talks about Ken Whisenhunt wanting to toughen up Matt Leinart. So when Matt Leinart comes out and makes those statements about saying, ride or die with me, let me make my mistakes, it'll help us in the long run, okay, fine. But Ken Whisenhunt comes from a team that wins football games, not teams that deal with young quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's all well and good.
Yeah, but this is also kind of an ADD, short attention span theater, sports world we live in. They don't care about what you're building for the future. This is all about right now, and right now it's a good solution for the Arizona Cardinals.
But, Randy, in your experience, this can have an effect on a locker room. While the two quarterbacks might handle it well, and from my understanding, they have a very good relationship, and I think part of the reason why this is even working is because Kurt Warner is a giving sort. Yes, he's a competitor. He wants to be the starter full-time, but I think he sees the big picture. So while those two guys might be able to work through it together, Warner and Leinart, in the locker room, you can't help but form an opinion as a veteran player and as a young player.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that happens from the very beginning. If you're a receiver, if you're Fitzgerald or Anquan Bolden or you're Edger and James, and when you have Kurt Warner in the game, that the game moves at a different pace, that the ball's out of there very, very quickly, that he has maybe just a freckle better accuracy to put you in positions where, you're always going to catch the ball, but maybe you take a little less of a hit, you're going to form an opinion pretty darn quick.
And let's not forget that, history repeats itself. 2 weeks ago we were talking about this. We could have talked about this exact same thing with the Bears, about the locker room being divided, about Greasy and Grossman. They will go with Greasy. It didn't work out in week one. We'll see how it works out here now, or week one of Greasy starting. We'll see how it goes this week.
The three Bears quarterbacks couldn't make the Cardinals team.
The one thing that stood out to me, though, if you compare the two, Arizona's offense can come up with explosion plays when Kurt Warner's on the field. Matt Leinart, right now, it's a lot of underneath. It's a different pace.
He doesn't have the touch on the ball. He doesn't have the touch on the ball.
He doesn't. And if short term you're thinking about, okay, look, if we're going to try to establish ourselves, Kurt Warner is probably the better guy. Make that decision and accept the fact that Matt Leinart needs to sit back and watch this offense from the sidelines.
Randy, real quickly here. Prediction, how long will this last in Arizona?
I would give this whole thing about a month. If it lasts longer than that, they're going to have an issue. Because within the month's time, either Matt Leinart's going to develop better and show that he can handle the full load, or it's going to be time just to go to Kurt Warner for a while full-time and bring Matt as a change of pace guy. And if that happens, then you start having confidence issues. The heck with the teammates. Then you've got a starting quarterback who thinks he should be in there and has to start doubting what he's learned. And it's a case of he doesn't know what he doesn't know.
Yeah, I think it's a true goal of whoever they're looking for, that one guy to come up and step up and say, I'm the quarterback here of this team. We'll see how it plays out, and of course in a month we may be revisiting this all over and talking about a different situation with the Cardinals. Plenty more to come on the End Zone here, heading into Week 5 of the NFL season. Always on demand on CBSSports.com or on your TiVo DVR via TiVo Cast. Plenty more to come here in your living room or on your computer.